In chapter 11, The Bride, so Death Eaters have been coming out, like outside the house, like Ron and Hermione had seen them outside the window. And as time was going on, Creature had not come back. And hours went to days, days went to a couple more days. I think maybe a week or so had went by in the time. So they were kind of losing hope, but hoping Creature would still be able to complete his mission. And then someone walks into the house. Now this caused everyone to come out and alarm. Harry came out with his wand, pointed at the door, and then walks in someone hooded and cloaked, and he said it was Lupin. So then Harry made him answer a couple questions to let himself know it was him. Ron and Hermione were there, pointing their wands at the door as well. They lowered their wands first, but Harry kept his up, so he answered a couple more questions, and then they realized it is actually Lupin. And they just went to Lupin to let them know how things have been going, kind of, and see how they're doing. And he said he did come to the house like right away just to check on it, and no one was there before. So obviously Lupin had been coming back and forth a little bit. And then he just let them know, possibly, he asked what Dumbledore had given them, like the task that Dumbledore had given them. And Harry's like, nah, I can't tell you. And he respected that. He's like, I knew you would probably say that. So as he started letting them know what else had happened, like a couple of the other people in the Order have been attacked. No one's been killed, but they've been attacked. And he said at the wedding even, everyone was questioned about where Harry was because they didn't know that Harry was there. They were just trying to find Harry. So they questioned everybody. They didn't kill anybody. So they've been doing that periodically in different places that are attached to the Order, just questioning people and trying to find Harry. And then Harry and them mentioned, we did get followed, and Lupin found that interesting because, he's like, there's no way they can trace you, so how did they know you were there? And they didn't really answer that question, but that was a little alarming. But then no one had come to Grimmauld Place. They've just been sitting outside the house and not able to really see inside. So that means they did not know Harry was there. So that was comforting in a way. And then this is where the conversation goes left. So Lupin's like, let me tag along with you guys, even if you don't let me know what you guys are doing. And then they were like, hold on, what about Tonks? And she was like, because Tonks' parents also got attacked, so Tonks was home with their parents, and he was like, what about Tonks? And he was like, that's okay, I can leave Tonks and be with you guys. And then they're like, Hermione could tell, just like I've been saying, he let them know that Tonks is pregnant. He confirmed that she's pregnant. And then this makes Harry go livid because he's like, so you're just trying to leave your pregnant wife and tag along with us? Because with Lupin, I feel like he's trying to leave them because he's a werewolf, obviously, and he believes his kid probably has a good chance of being a werewolf as well, and his kid will be outcast. Now, Tonks, he believes, has been outcast even by her parents, kind of. Not completely, but they look at her differently because she married a werewolf. Werewolves are obviously seen as lower in the magical class, and just because of their nature and everything. And so Lupin just feels like he's cursed his child because he's a werewolf and he possibly has a chance to pass it on to his child. So he's willing to leave his child and pregnant wife alone while he's out, possibly about to die, while traveling with Harry, because Harry's like the most wanted person in the world right now. And this makes Harry livid. He goes in on Lupin, and even to the point where Hermione and Ron are even telling him to stop, but he just keeps going to the point where Lupin actually pulls out his wand and blasts him back and leaves. Like, he leaves in a hurry. Harry just kept going in on him, just saying how you abandoning your kids. Harry called him a coward, everything. And at this point, it's kind of awkward because Harry, got knocked down, and it's quiet in the house, quiet for a little bit too long. And there was an article that Lupin brought as well that was talking about the past of Dumbledore. That was Rita Skeeter's story. It was in the article. Harry didn't want to read it at first, but then all this awkwardness, he decides to read it. And it shows a picture of him, of Dumbledore, when he's young, before he had glasses, and before he had his nose broken by his brother, and little baby Ariana, his sister. And then going in about the article, talking about how she was possibly a squib, and his mother, who Harry looked at in the picture, Harry described her as like Native American looking. Excuse me. He described her as like Native American looking, and basically said the mother kind of confined the daughter to the house for 7 years, and she was spotted once by their neighbor, and that was pretty much the last time they saw her. And so as time went on, Harry just put the article down, and he's kind of starting to believe, like, he didn't want those to mess up his ideas of Dumbledore, but the article is kind of making him second guess who Dumbledore is as a person, and if he actually let those things happen. And then they hear a snap, and Kreacher has come back with Mundungus, and basically he's like, Ron had to wrestle him down just to make sure he doesn't escape again. And he's wondering why he was brought to the house. He was thinking maybe they grabbed him because of stuff he took from Sirius, but no, that was not. They were asking about the locket, and they asked Mundungus who he gave the locket to, and he's like, was it valuable? And he's like, no. He wishes he knew it was valuable, but the one person he said he gave it to someone from the Ministry, and the way he described this person is none other than, they didn't say it in the chapter, but it was Dolores Umbridge, I believe, is the one that he gave the locket to. Wow.